Hello everybody, it's Joe from JLW Games coming at you with another cool video, back and playing a coaster in Westwood, of course. And today we have a really awesome episode as we get started on the Haunted Mansion. So this is going to be a building. Beforehand I was really trying to figure out where I was going to put this thing, and I just kind of made the space possible, and this is actually going to work out. I actually have a plan of how this is all going to connect together, and it's going to be really cool. So I wanted to make this really eerie pathway up to the building itself first, kind of like with this very spooky, like kind of like this very ghostly like fence and everything that's going to go out here. And on the outside, of course, is going to be some gravestones and you know, some stuff like that, just to get you a little bit scared before you enter the haunted house. So this haunted house is literally going to be just pathways. It's not going to be like a ride specifically or any attraction or whatnot. It's going to be actually just pathways inside a very large mansion. And I'm going to have some really creepy stuff around and a lot of scenery, and we're going to put a couple of interactive shops in there as well. That way guests will actually enter the building itself. Otherwise, the guests will actually not go in to the building. So I might put something small, like maybe some bathrooms or possibly, you know, some ATMs or something like that. Something small that will occupy the guests to want to actually go into the building. And I'm gonna have to put it in all different directions, otherwise they won't like travel around inside. And yeah, so there's kind of a neat little trick that I learned about. And if you actually place a shop at a certain height, you can make the stairs kind of a smaller set of stairs rather than create it manually, which is actually really nice. And you just delete the shop and you can still have the set of stairs there, which is actually very nice to get some different levels with stairs rather than just a slope, because I did want some stairs. So the first part of creating this mansion was actually creating like this large foundation, and I've never created anything like this, so this is gonna take some time, and it's probably a little more time consuming than you are gonna be expecting. So in the last live stream I actually practiced a little bit on some advanced building, and this is going to take a little bit of some advanced building because there's going to be a lot of details I don't even get close to picking into in this episode. So there's a lot. This mansion's going to take up a lot of episodes, or maybe not a lot of episodes, but quite a few episodes. So it's going to take hours for me to complete. This is actually about an hour of footage that I get done. So I try to get the basic shape down. I don't do too many details on the building itself in this episode. So anyways, as for this mansion, it's just going to be kind of like a haunted mansion in the ghost town. So it used to be just a regular mansion, of course, until the ghosts kind of took over this part of the town, which is of course the ghost town. Which, if you haven't heard the storyline to this section of the park, then you gotta check out all the other episodes as well. So I tried to create like this little staircase that ran around, and at this point I was just like, never mind all this, I'm just gonna create some straight pathways for right now. And since this is kind of like my first attempt and first try at ever doing anything like this, I do try to keep it very simple, and it's probably not going to be enormous. It will be pretty big, but not like enormous amounts. And I want to make sure that everything's detailed enough, and I can't make it too big anyways, but I want it to be big enough to kind of look like a standard mansion. It's going to be pretty symmetrical at the same time, so don't expect it to be, you know, too far advanced. I'm gonna make it as advanced as I can, but it's not gonna be the most advanced building that you're gonna see. So I got a lot of new ideas for buildings and stuff that I'm gonna do in the future for the ghost town. That's actually gonna work out very well with some new texture ideas that I'm gonna work on some of the walls and roofs. So a lot of cool things coming in, because I'm actually looking at making a jump in my skill set of building buildings, and that is actually do a little bit more advanced work on my buildings, because I'm very basic right now of using just the in-game, you know, regular walls and stuff, and I want to go dig a little bit further into that now that I'm starting to get into big parks, and I've been playing the game for many months now. So I think it's about time for me to actually get into a little bit more advanced stuff rather than, stick to just the basic buildings. And when I say that, I mean kind of like what you're seeing here. I was just trying something out. I don't know if I'll go through with it, and that is to actually make like a completely new texture on like a wall or something. Pretty much creating a custom wall from scratch with different materials that you have. That's kind of like something I'm thinking about doing for a lot of the parts in this haunted mansion and stuff. Just to give it a little bit more uniqueness and make it just a little bit more advanced. So I don't want to jump too far ahead, and a good place to start with advanced building is literally take the basic walls and roofs and literally just use like different columns or something, just different textures really, and align them on those to create new textures for walls and stuff like that. That's really the start of kind of some basic stuff, basic advanced stuff that I think I'm going to start trying out and actually use to try and get more and more advanced as I go along. So there's a lot of advanced stuff out there, but I'm trying to take smaller steps in the right direction because I did try and go a little bit too fast when trying to do advanced stuff, and I got kind of stuck in the most part. So I want to try and take smaller steps and becoming more of an advanced builder in the end. So, and it all starts with this mansion. I think this is going to be a really good test for me and this building skills that I do have. Now, again, I'm not a really great at buildings and buildings. I'm more, of course, more on creating designs of roller coasters myself, and more like natural scenery, like trees and foliage and rocks. Those are the things that I would say that I am best at. When it comes to buildings themselves, I'm trying to do my best to improve, and that's going to be my goal throughout this park, is actually to improve my building skills. And even though some things might take a little bit longer, it might actually be worth it in the end. But so far, I'm very excited of how the shape is coming out for this oh gosh, I just hit my pop filter. And I'm actually excited of how this is actually turning out so far, and like what I do get done in this episode, because there's still a lot to do for this mansion in this episode, and I'm trying to debate how many levels I'm going to actually have. I'm thinking about maybe one more level for the pathway anyways, because the pathway is not going to have it go every single direction that you see, and I wanted to make it pretty symmetrical and kind of basic for right now. Just because it's the first mansion that I'm actually building in Planet Coaster, because I've never built a structure, pretty much I haven't really built a structure this massive before when it comes to like a building itself. And yeah, so it's going to be really cool, and a lot of people think it would be a good idea to actually make a dark ride haunted mansion, but for this I wanted to make kind of like a walkthrough mansion, almost like a fun house in a way, and that's kind of like the purpose of this, is to create like a mansion that is kind of like a playhouse, almost like a fun house in a way, and that's going to be kind of the mindset that I want everyone to kind of think here. I do have an idea for like a future attraction that won't open until after the park is open itself, so you could see that in the next year or two, or next season or two for the park itself, because obviously it is not open yet. And I want to create room for expansion in the park as well. That way, it's actually like a real park, and I'm going to keep it updated throughout the year. So you're going to see like some construction going on in certain areas, maybe for next season and stuff like that. It's going to be some really cool stuff, and I can't wait to create more parks in the future. And yeah, so again, the JLW Entertainment chain is starting off with Westwood, and it's going to have many more parks down the line in the future. So I think it's going to be really neat and really cool to see what I can dream up here. Now this part up here is actually going to be like a really awesome like balcony on the top of the entrance of the mansion itself, and it's going to have some creepy stuff up there. I probably won't make it to where guests can walk up there, but it will just be there for mostly decorations and stuff like that. Again, in this episode, we're mostly focusing more on the shape of the mansion itself more than the details. I do a little bit of details in the future and stuff like that, or a little bit down the line in the episode, but not a whole lot. You know, there's a lot of detailing to do inside and outside of this mansion. So we're going to have to not just focus on exterior, but also interior as well, which is going to be quite interesting. So I'm not going to put a roof on the place yet, so I'm going to go by levels. I'm going to decorate the inside of the first level, then we're going to move on to the next level and stuff like that. So what I do here is actually go into the Steam workshop and find some tombstones, because I'm kind of lazy in that way, and to decide to just kind of find some in the workshop and actually use them on the site rather than build them myself, because I don't really know exactly how to build some tombstones, and I wanted to have a lot of tombstones on the outside here of the entrance, and adding some really cool effects to them also as well. I thought would be really cool, as you saw in the cinematic shot at the beginning of the video. We're going to add some cool effects, kind of like some steam to make it look kind of eerie and stuff like that, and also some spotlights to give them that really eerie look with some blue lights around them as well. It looks really, really cool at night, and during the day you can see the steam more, but at night you can see more of the lights rather than steam. You can't really see the steam very well at nighttime, and that's what we're going to do here is actually get into the spotlights for this itself. So it's actually really cool. I love how the spotlights turn out. I just put them underground so you can't see the lights. I think it creates a lot cooler effect to it in anyways. So I'm probably going to put like a big entrance gate almost at the front, at the entrance right here, the pathway that kind of says, like, you know, like the Iron Mansion or Ghost Town Mansion or something like that, and along those lines to show kind of like the entrance of the mansion, because it's going to have a fence around it, of course, and I kind of want to have a little bit of a backyard part of it as well. So this is kind of like another little, almost like a dormer kind of deal. It's very large, and it's going to be kind of like a window and stuff that guests will be able to look out of if it was real, but since you can't really look through it, it's not a big deal anyways. So I wanted to create kind of like these little planks on the outside, and this is going to be kind of a thing as well. I think it gives a kind of a unfinished kind of look to it, and kind of a more creepy kind of look to it, and I think it actually works quite well on the buildings, and we'll see how well that develops throughout the mansion itself. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that completely, but we'll figure that out down the line and see how that works. So I'm very excited for this mansion, and I hope it turns out the way I'm hoping. So far it's turned out very nicely for right now, and I want to hear what you guys think in the comments on how this mansion is looking. Let me guys know if you like it, if you dislike it, and what would make it even better. So again, I'm an amateur, and this is my first time creating like this sort of mansion. Now I could create my own spires, but I decided to use the in-game spires for right now and just maybe add some very interesting details to them to make them look kind of more worn down. And I do kind of like the same thing with the planks here, and I think it kind of gives off that really cool look, and just change the color of them. And I might add just different other objects to make it a little bit better as well. So I just do it on this one for right now, just kind of do a test. So a lot of these are just a little experimentation and testing. Doesn't mean that they're going to be final in the long run. So that's kind of how those are going to play out. And then on the inside, I want to make sure there's like a lot of doors to make sure it looks like there's a lot of rooms in this mansion. So when you're walking around, you see all these doors and stuff to make it look like it's an actual mansion with, you know, many rooms and stuff like that, because mansions have a ton of rooms, and a lot of rooms, yeah. So now as for these, I don't know if I really cared for these on the interior design, but I just kind of tried it out on one piece of wall, and we'll go from there to see how it looks in the future. But after I get done with that, that's about it for the episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe for more content like this, and let me guys know what you think in the comments of the mansion so far and what I can do to improve it. I think it's going to be really awesome, and I can't wait until it's finished. I think I have a good start so far. Of course, a lot of detailing and just minor stuff to add on to the mansion in the end. So anyways, thank you guys again so much for watching. Make sure you have a great day and an even cooler tomorrow, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks so much, and goodbye.